How are we all doing? Still trying to. That's it. Hi, how is everybody doing? Hi, YouTube. Hi, TikTok. How is everybody doing? Get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. Where is everybody? So I'm live on both platforms, on YouTube and on TikTok. How is everybody doing? Today I want to get as many people as much as possible. And I've got a guest who we will be waiting for. My co my colleague is going to join us. She's Dinah of Good Health Consult. Hi everybody. This live was not planned. Hi Hassan, how are you? Hi Betsy, how is everybody doing? Happy Easter. Abby J, you said you sent me a comment. On what video, please? I'm live, please. Close that door. Silly. Hi, we're going to talk about NHS sponsored jobs in UK. Just like we did some months or so ago, where we talked about jobs that are sponsored. We mostly concentrated on, I think we concentrated on jobs in, is it care homes or NHS? I can't really remember. But today we're going to be doing only NHS job applications. We are going to learn how to apply for NHS jobs and how to go about job applications. How is everybody doing? Please, if you see me looking down, those here, if you see me looking down, looking on my laptop on YouTube, and YouTube, if you see me looking up, I'm looking on my TikTok. Hi Abby, how are you doing? Hi YouTube. Hi Juliet. Um, oh sorry, I can't mention. I can't really see properly. Chidiogo, hi Sewa. Yeah, Vivek. Yeah, you can ask me something. You can ask me something. Okay. How is everybody doing? I want to get as many people as possible, then we can start. Let me just fix my lighting. Give me 2 seconds. Let me fix this lighting properly so that I can charge my phone at the same time. Right. I think I'm on track. Hi, we're going to look at NHS jobs. Yes, if you want to ask something, feel free to ask. As I said, my eye will be going up and down. So try and share the live to people. Let's get in as much people as we can because I don't usually do live. I do live once in a very blue moon and it's very spontaneous. Usually I don't plan going live because I don't want to promise and say I'll do this when I don't know when I'm going to do it. So that is why I'm not really consistent when it comes to doing live. But yes, there are some NHS job opportunities that are on sponsorship now. I feel like most of the times we just concentrate on the care job, the care job, and the care job. And now, because this care job is getting very, very saturated, we need to start shifting our focus to other places. There are lots of sponsorship jobs, but we don't know about them. And it's not our fault because if you don't know, you don't know. So, about 2 months ago, I was looking online for something, and then I saw this job of a lecturer. They were looking for a lecturer for one university, and it was with sponsorship. Do you get? So, promise, you've sent me a DM. I'll check, my darling. I'll check, okay? So if we don't know that it's sponsored, and it's not our fault. If nobody tells you that, hey, this job is on sponsorship, you wouldn't know that it is on sponsorship actually. So there are lots of roles that are being sponsored, and we need to try and look into them, try and get, hey, if you don't stop. So if we don't know, we don't know. So let's try and shift our focus and explore basically because if you if you look into the job role, try to look at the job description, the person's specification, and then you'll be able to know what they are looking for actually in the person that they are looking for to recruit. I tell you, there are lots of sponsorships around, but the fact that we say that the UK have sponsorship and they want to sponsor people to work either from overseas or for switch in the UK doesn't mean that it is so easy to get. I must be honest, because now employers know that people just go in for the job, not for because they want to do it, but because they just want to stay, and they are making things very very difficult. And also because the home office, there's a lot that is going on. I don't want to talk about it here, but they want to be sure that whoever they're recruiting is actually the right candidate for the job. So without wasting any of your time, let's start. I'm not, as I said from the beginning, I'm not only going to concentrate on carer jobs. So these are random jobs that we are going to be going through, because I believe it's not everybody on here that's a carer. There are other people from other fields who want to, learn something. So it's not only carer jobs that we are concentrating on now. So I'm waiting for my guest, who is the only one I'm going to accept for this live for today. She's the only one. So if you are sending a call request or an invite, please, I'm sorry, but I can't pick you on for today. Yeah, so that we can accomplish whatever reason why we are here. But next time, if I come on and I don't have any guests, then we can pick other people as well. So the first job, whilst we are waiting, I don't want to keep so long here. It's already almost 8:30. So this, I'm reading it on here, right? If you've got a track job account, the other day I told you we went through how to search for NHS jobs. So if you don't have a track job account, kindly leave this live, go and create a track job account. Track is TRAC, track. That is where NHS jobs are, the NHS with sponsorship. So let's acknowledge their effort, because they are doing very well. And in times like this, a lot of people are now, considering joining the NHS. And I'll tell you, if you want security, peace of mind in an era like this where CQC, inspection, and whatever is going on, the safest place to work if you are very new, coming from overseas, not when you're in the UK already, from overseas, is to be with the NHS. So this job is a band 4 team administrator, enhanced reconnect service. The track is TRAC, track job, TRAC job, track job. Yep. Let me type it in here. Track job. That's for those on YouTube. Here, where do I type it though? Sorry. I'm trying to. TRAC, yes, that's it. Yeah, so Phil has spelled it. That's track job. So when you go there, if you want to look for sponsorship job, go onto the search engine on top there, type sponsorship. Sponsorship, okay? So this job is for band 4 administrator. So administrator is usually going to work with the admin, taking charge of the admin team and all that. So for this one, the closing date is the 15th, NHS Foundation Trust, and it's a band 4 administrator with sponsorship. So it's a 2-year fixed term contract. The main duties and responsibilities, I will not go into it. We'll just jump onto the salary is there, 25,147 to 27,596 per annum. It's a full-time job. It's in Birmingham. It's in Birmingham. So this one, when you want to know if a job is sponsored, because I hear a lot of people saying, I've applied for 200 jobs on track. I am never successful. Don't just apply for everything. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Don't just apply for every job, right? If you want to know that this job is sponsored, just scroll down the job and look at where they've written additional information, where they've written additional information. So that additional information is where you're going to look at. On this particular one, when I clicked on it, additional information, they've written certificate of sponsorship. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can see it. Certificate of sponsorship. Somebody said NHS job rarely comes with additional information. My darling, you need to search. If me that I'm not looking for job, I'm not interested in it, but I am able to go. Only today I find 20 jobs with sponsorships. So you have to be determined, right? So this is it. As you can see, certificate of sponsorship. Okay. So it tells you that it says that applications for job seekers who require current skilled worker sponsorship to work in the UK are welcome and will be considered alongside all other applications. Now, let me tell you something. I recently got a job, right? In that job, they didn't say they were going to give sponsorship. It wasn't stated anywhere, but I just took the leap of faith. I applied. When I applied and they called me, I didn't talk about sponsorship. Now, this is the clue. Sometimes they have it, but they won't tell you that they have it. When they call you, you've applied and they call you, don't talk about sponsorship yet. The first thing you want to do is to impress them. Okay? So during your preliminary interview or whatever, the questioning stage and whatever, impress them. Let them know that you, apart from you, that job, nobody can do it. You know your stuff, you know what you're talking about. So if you've impressed somebody, whatever you want, the person will give it to you because they have the sponsorship. This job I'm talking about, they had it. They didn't tell me, in fact. So after everything, then I asked, "Do you have sponsorship?" Then they told me that if you qualify, listen to the English. If you qualify, we'll give it to you. And yes, they did. So if you don't impress the person enough, they will not just take it and give it to you. Gone were the days where sponsorship was very easy. Even for nurses, it was so easy. But now the chances are getting narrower and narrower. Not because the companies do not have the sponsor licenses, because when you check on the license register, every day about 50 to 100 companies are added every day, right? But they won't tell you that we have the sponsor, or even if they have it, sometimes they'll tell you we don't. This particular company I'm talking about that sponsored me, I applied for two of their jobs. Two. They told me they refused me because they said they don't have sponsorship. But yet still another branch of that same company gave it to me. So now sponsorship is more like impress me before I give you what you want. That is what, if you ask me, I will say. So you have to impress your employer. And now people take the sponsorship and they do a lot of things when they go to work. So you have to convince the person that it is you, so that they will give you what you want. And I tell you what, if you convince them that it is you, anything that you want, they'll give it to you. So that is the trick here. NHS job requires. Oh, can you hear me? Someone cannot hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. This particular laptop I'm using, I've never used it before. So I am not too sure of what is going on. Please let me know if you can hear me, please. NHS job requires a lot of time and dedication. When applying, you have to be patient. Yes, it does. It does require a lot of dedication. Right. So I've got with me here somebody is going to join the live. Who is my guest? She's called Diana. She is she's got Diana. She's called Diana. She's also a UK nurse working with the NHS. She's got a lot of experience. She is a settled immigrant. She's got her settlement status already. She needs nothing from us. She's just here to support us, to chip in her experiences. She's only worked with the NHS. So Diana also was sponsored to do her masters in the UK. She did her masters in nursing in the UK on scholarship. She had 3 scholarships to do her masters in the UK years before she later came back to work as a registered nurse in the UK. She works in one of the very prominent NHS trusts in London. She's a sister, actually. She's got a lot of experience. So that is the reason why I want her to come and help us as to how what employers are looking for when it comes to recruiting from the NHS. She has got lots of experience. So she is a settled immigrant and she can help us tell us a lot as far as recruiting for the NHS is concerned. So I've sent her an invite. I don't know if she has seen it at all. Okay, so wait for her to join. We'll give her some grace. So that is the job. So when you go onto the job, right, before you apply for the job, please don't be in a hurry. Babe, are you coming here? But you can't say one life. So before you apply for the job, when is she coming? She's coming. She's supposed to be on live by now. So when you apply, before you apply for the job, right, the first thing is to check for that additional information. When they tell you that they can give sponsorship, that is a blueprint right there. The next thing I'm going to be looking at is the person specification. The person specification states who the job is tailored to. Now, trick. When you look at the person specification, right, the key words in that person specification, make sure you tailor it in the CV or in the what do we call this? Oh, oh, I've forgotten what this is called. It's not CV in the NHS. Like when you're applying for the job, that statement that you need to write, make sure that those keywords are reflecting. So the supporting statement. Thank you, Nana Ma. Supporting statement. So make sure that those keywords in the person specification is reflecting in the supporting statement before you even apply. Because if you don't take this clue, and also just chip in this briefly before we jump on. If you want to know how to write a good supporting statement, you know what is called Chat GPT? Chat GPT. Go onto Chat GPT, put in your skills, your qualifications, your experience, copy the person specification and the job description that you are applying for, post everything on Chat GPT, and then write to generate you, and then tell ChatGPT to generate you a supporting statement. ChatGPT, because it's an AI, is going to generate you a generalized something. Then you will now look at what ChatGPT has written for you, and then you can personalize it. Okay, so that is one clue for writing a very good supporting statement because NHS is very competitive. Hi, Dora, how are you? I shouldn't take down my life, Beverly. Bevelyn. Okay, I've heard you. Hi, Dinah, how are you? Can you please turn on your camera for us? Hey, you are asking the wrong person. No, please, guys, please show us how to do it. Oh, sorry. Somebody said, please, do you leave or you reapply for your course? Do I leave? How? I don't get that question. Well, Dora. Beverly, I'm not gonna take the live down. I'll leave it for a while so that anybody who wants to watch it later can watch it. I'll leave it for a while. Usually I take my live down because I don't want to go and commit myself saying anything that somebody will go and use it, you know. So hi, Dinah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. I know you're a very, very busy person, and I've pulled you out. I've pulled you out from your comfort zone, and you just came from a very beautiful holiday. Hey, this lady here, she's the queen of all the chilling people. she she's she's the headmistress of all of us when it comes to chilling. Oh, I know. Dora, you said, I mean, can you do a video on how you reapplied for your work visa? Oh, I have actually done quite a couple of videos on my YouTube. So if you don't follow me on my YouTube, maybe you would want to go on my YouTube because I've changed job. This is the fourth time I'm changing job in the UK. So it's not something that is new to me. It's something that I have done over and over. So I have done a video on how I went about it on my YouTube. So I don't want to redo it. But basically, it's just very simple. when you've got your new COS, you've applied for the job, you've gone for that interview, they've given you a job offer, and you get a new COS. You just go online to update your visa, right? So you just apply with your details and everything, just like the way you're applying for the first time, and you go for your biometrics. If you are using the old BRP that has the chip, you don't need to go in for your biometrics. You can do everything at the comfort of your home by doing your own picture and everything on your phone. But if it's the new BRP you are using, then you have to go in to a center to actually get your finger printed. So yeah, if you've got an old BRP, you can do everything in the comfort of your home. You can use your, they call that thing, what do they call it? NFC or NCF. I've forgotten what they call it. It's one digital app like that. You can use that one to do everything on your phone at the comfort of your home, and then they'll post your BRP to you. I think that is very straightforward. For me, that's very straightforward. But if it's the new BRP, then you need to go in to do it. So that's the first job. That is the band four administrator job, right? Let's look at the person specification, an example of the person specification. So this one, they need somebody with NVQ level 3 in business admin or equivalent, and or somebody with GCSE English. Okay. And then the essentials, the things that are essential to them in terms of knowledge. They want somebody who's got extensive knowledge on and experience of Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Look, and Excel, ability to take minutes and provide support for meetings, and then knowledge of data protection, arts, information governance. Desirable, they want somebody who's got administrative experience working in the NHS. One thing I would also like to say is that sometimes we are coming back to the sponsorship situation. Sometimes don't feel like this job will not sponsor me. There is this friend of ours, right? He came to the UK with a wife. So the wife came in as a student and then he came in as a dependent. That was the days when dependence was common. So when before the wife even finished the school, he applied for a job. Back where they came from, he was a procurement officer. So he joined this company. He didn't even know they gave sponsorship. So before the wife could even finish the studies, he was doing very well in the job. That procurement, he wasn't employed as a procurement officer. He was employed as something else, just these menial things to keep going. So in the process of working with them, he now told them that I'm a procurement officer where I come from. Oh, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the gifters. Thank you very much. So he now told them that I'm a procurement officer from where I come from. Oh. And then they gave him something to do, and he did it so well. Do you believe that they sponsored this guy with a startup salary of £40,000? Startup salary. So by the time the wife finished the studies, he had a sponsorship. So the wife just moved from the hair visa to come to the husband's, which is something that is very good. If you've got a partner and you are struggling to get sponsorship, and your partner is educated, both of you should try. One person should, the other person can just go onto it. So that is also, so this is the details for this job. Let's move on to the next one. So please, if you're on track job, for those of you who just joined, go on track job, TRAC jobs, create an account. That is how you can get NHS sponsored jobs, right? Create a track job account, and just type in the search engine sponsorship. As of this morning, I checked all these jobs I'm talking about. I'm going to be talking about 20 jobs are jobs I searched today. So they are live jobs that are still going on. So when you punch on sponsorship, what I saw was about 400 and something jobs that popped up. But it's not every single one of them that gives sponsorship. So you have to read. Okay. Thank you very much to all my gifters. If they gave you 60 days to something, if they gave you 60 days to something else, what is the way forward? What would you do? In my opinion, I would say that if you've been given 60 days officially, they've written to you. It's not your imagination that is telling you that you have 60 days, but Home Office have actually written to you that you've got 60 days. I would say that if you know that you've got good documents, but you can still get a job in UK, but you're not just getting, it's better you go home and apply from home. It happened to one doctor, right? So she's a doctor. She's worked for this company. She's a staff. She's worked with them for 3 years. It was time for them to renew her visa for her. Nobody knows what happened. The company hasn't lost their sponsor license, but for whatever reason, they said they can't give her the visa renewal. And she only has 60 days to live because she knows that she's a doctor. She's got a qualification. It's just the job at that time, is too short. 2 months is too short to get US now and to change over everything. So she said, you know what? I would rather go back home and apply from back home because at that time you are still a legal immigrant. You haven't breached any immigration rule. So your chances of going getting part when you exhaust your 60 days and you become an illegal, when you go back home, it will be difficult for you to come back because it will be like you've once breached immigration law or immigration rule, what shows that you are law abiding. Do you get the point? So if once I know that I have got all my documents which are right for me, I will stay back home and apply and come back in because if employers even see that, oh, you've come to UK before, you've stayed there before, why did you leave? I left because I wasn't getting sponsorship. So I decided to willingly go and not to breach. They will trust you and they will support you to come back. Lisa is saying, please, is it true that there is a salary threshold before NHS can sponsor you? I've done a video on this. I think I've shared that. So you can go through. It's not the NHS decision, it is the government's decision. 60 days is passed. Then I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's not something I can talk about. Okay. So you have applied. That was 9 weeks at that time, and then she called them home office and told them that it's already past the 8 weeks mark that you guys told me, and they told her to wait for another 3 weeks. And also now, what they are doing is that sometimes they can call you for an interview. Yes, they can call you for an interview because we all know that when you're applying for tier two visa, they don't call, they don't do anything, you don't do interview, they just give you the visa. But now when they're not so sure of something, call you, they can send you a letter to invite you for a video, what do they call that one? Video interview, where they will ask you questions. They asked one girl, they sent a letter that they want to arrange for a video interview with her. In that video interview, the things that they wanted to produce, this is fresh. Oh, she's going for the interview on 24th April. Today is when? 5th. 24th April. So in the next 19 days, she has an interview. In the interview, they said she should bring evidence of how she found the job. She should bring the job offer itself. She should bring her qualifications that shows that she is eligible for that job. And what else? They asked for about 5 things. So please, guys, that is why I tell people that apply for the job yourself. Apply for the job yourself. So that if you apply for yourself, you will be able to have all these evidences in your email or somewhere. And if you have them also, you can keep it safe, print it out, or store it somewhere very safe. You can't predict these people now. I'm telling you, I have applied for 4 jobs. I've done 4 job changes since I came to UK. And what is happening now is serious. They can call you. So please, even if somebody is helping you to do it, fine. But know what is happening for yourself. Auntie Dana, your camera is not on. No. I've invited you to turn your camera on. So that is the first job. That is the administration job. Let's go to the next one quickly. Let's go to the next one. The next one is band 3 activity worker. Band 3 activity worker. Band 3. Olawumi, you said yours is band 3 NHS. Did you get sponsored, love? Let's know. Did you get sponsored? You want to know how to apply for the job. That is why we are here. That's why we are doing the live. So create a track job, love. Create a track job, and that is what we are doing. So this one is band 3 activity worker. It is in the same trust that is in Birmingham and Solihull Mental Health NHS Foundation Trust. So this is telling you that, you see, I've mentioned this trust 2 times. They gave you COS. Lovely. Oh, which trust is it? Do you mind sharing? Do you mind sharing which trust is it so that people can go and check? So this Birmingham and Solihull Mental Health NHS Trust, this is telling you something that if you go there, they can support you. The other day in my other life, I mentioned Gloucester NHS. They sponsored one of my friends. 3 days ago, I saw her TikTok in the NHS uniform dancing on the. She was dancing. She was so happy. I said, "I'm happy for you as well." She came in as a carer, and she got sponsored. She was in a care home as a domiciliary worker, and then the NHS sponsored her as a band three healthcare assistant. So it is possible, right? Yeah. So this one is activity worker is like activity. Those of you that do not know, sorry. For those of you that do not know, activity worker is activity coordinator. If you've worked in a care home before, oh, sorry, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now, please? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can hear me. Good. Okay, that's fine. So activity worker is like an activity coordinator. Hi. My boss, I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Ah, my boss. My boss, how is it going? Okay, okay. So this one is band three activity worker. It's in the George Ward. So this one is closing on the 7th. So the 7th is Sunday, right? So it's limited time. When you scroll down the bottom of this job, as we said from the beginning of the live, if you want to know that the job is giving you sponsorship, what do? You scroll down to the bottom, you press on additional information. Okay. So what is written there? It said certificate of sponsorship. So it says what? Certificate of sponsorship. There is too much light in my room. That's why it's giving a glaring, it's glaring up because I've got extra light. So it means that they give sponsorship. So it says that applicants from job seekers who require current skilled worker sponsorship to work in the UK are welcome and will be considered alongside all other applications. So this is what it is saying. And let's go to the person specification because that is how we will know that they what are they looking. So MVQ level 3 or its equivalent, if you are not in the UK, it's let's say SSC. If you're in the UK, if you're not in the UK, it's our SSC or a diploma. A diploma will be better. If you have a degree, it's even a plus. And then your skills, they want you to be competent in a skill or leisure activity or recreational activity. So now, as we said, if you are tailoring your CV or your supporting statement or supporting information for this job, you want to include that you are somebody who is lively, you are bubbly, you can bring up activities, recreational activities like, I don't know, you can bring up recreational activity because this is what the job is looking for. Okay, this is what the job is looking for. If you've got a nursing certificate, it doesn't matter, you can still apply. But what matters is that the person specification, what they need in that person should reflect in your personal statement, in your supporting statement. It should reflect there that yes, you are a nurse, but you're also creative. They want that creative person, someone that can bring activities. Because if you look at someone like me, I'm a nurse, but I don't have any creative activity in my head. I can't bring any activity on board. Do you get the point? So, but if you were a nurse and you think that you are a nurse but you are creative, you can do activities because these people, they like activities a lot too. If you're in the care home, that's where you will know that yes, they like activity. They'll go out to the pub. They will bring in a dog, to play with them. They can arrange for school kids to come and play with them. They can go out to the coffee shop to have a drink. Like they want somebody who can bring new ideas. They can organize like what do they call this one? Like a musical show. They will invite somebody to come and play an instrument. So they want somebody who is creative. So let that reflect in your supporting statement that you are going to be writing. They also want somebody who's got experience of health, social, and care services, either as a staff member or as a service user. So you don't necessarily need to be, a staff member, but you have used a social service before. You can also use this as your experience, right? And then the desirable is something that they desire, but if they don't get it, that's fine. They want somebody who has genuine interest in working with clients group. So genuine interest. That's what I said from the beginning of the life. Don't just go for the job because you need sponsorship. Let's add some passion to the thing that we are doing, because I realize that how we live our life as people on sponsorship paves way for other people. Okay, so if they see the passion that you have, don't just go because, oh, I need sponsorship, so I'm here. Nothing concerns me. I'm just here to while away time. You block other people's chance. So have some new love and passion for the job. Even if you don't have creative ideas, see creativity. Everything is on the internet. So just go creativity. How to be creative in the nursing home, or how to be creative, how to entertain elderly people. Do you get? You can start forming some creative ideas. But anyways, this job is closing on the 7th of April. So if you don't have creative ideas, I don't think tonight you can start having creative ideas to apply. I don't know how you're going to do that. But this is it. So this is for bank three. The salary is 22,816 to 24,300 experience and what you're bringing to the table. So that is that for this job. Those of you who just joined, we have been talking about sponsorship jobs in the UK. I have got a very intelligent senior nurse here with me. She's the person of Dinah. She's a settled immigrant. She's here to support us to chip in any questions or anything that we need to understand as far as NHS is concerned. She's only worked with the NHS. And one thing about Dinah is that she came to the UK to do her master's on a fully funded scholarship. She's a very intelligent lady, as you are seeing her in the camera like that. The brain that she has to borrow. She had 3 scholarships from Ghana to come and study masters in nursing in the UK. 3. And then she finished her masters, went back to Ghana, and then came back to work as a registered nurse. She's a settled immigrant already. So if I forget to chip in anything, she's my bigger brain. That's why she's here. She's my bigger brain. So Marina is asking, can someone who is the main applicant and has been sponsored in the UK? Sorry, can someone who is the main applicant and has sponsored in the UK that wants to switch for a job? I didn't get that question. I didn't get that question. So those on YouTube, my TikTok handle is Becca. It's the same name, Becca or Becca by TV. It's the same name. You can't see Dinah on YouTube because she's not linked up here. We are on TikTok, but you can hear if she says anything or she's about to say anything. I'll let you know. Those on YouTube so that I can hear her as well. So that's the second job we've just discussed. We are showing you how to apply for NHS jobs, and we have started by saying that to do this you have to go on. Does NHS give sponsorship to overseas nurses from Ghana? Yes, that's what we all had. That's what we all had to today. We were all sponsored from Ghana, from Nigeria, from everywhere to come in. You get the point. So yes, NHS is still sponsoring, but it's not easy. Even back in the days, if people today say that, oh, getting a NHS job is so difficult, I'm asking, when did it change? It's been difficult from the days of Kwame Nkrumah till today. Nothing has changed about NHS because they are thorough. And that gives you the peace of mind and assurance, because if you know that if you employ the NHS, you are safe because they are thorough, they are meticulous, they make sure that everything is done the right ago when I was applying for Ghana. So you've got the qualification. Yes, you don't need to say that I came in as a carer, so I have to stick to it. No, that's the beauty of sponsorship. Let's say probably you came in as a carer, but that is not your core job. Maybe you were a teacher, or you were an administrator, or you were even a nurse, you were a doctor. Once you've got the right qualification and the skills, you can always go to your job role, that job. As far as they are happy to sponsor you, that is it. Yeah. Yes, you can apply for health assistance if you're an enrolled nurse. You can apply for healthcare assistant. Does band three job in NHS give you skilled worker? Yes, if you are eligible, they'll give it to you. If you're eligible, they'll give it to you. Okay, let's move on to the next job so that we don't spend a lot of time. Let's move on to the next job. So we have looked at the band four administrator. We've looked at the band three activity worker or activity coordinator. Let's look at the next one. It is, and this one is closing on the 19th of April. 19th of April. It's closing on the 19th of April. How to get the link? Because we can't share links on TikTok. We can't share links. So you have to go on Track Job. When you've created a Track Job account, on the search engine, write sponsorship. Sponsorship. All jobs I'm mentioning, that is where I found them. If you are on my Telegram group, all the links I am mentioning on this job is there because immediately I find them, I post them on my Telegram. So if you are not on my Telegram, you would want to go and see the link is there. If you want the link to my Telegram on this particular TikTok, on my bio, just click it. It will take you straight to my Telegram. It's there. So infection prevention and control assistant, where NHS Foundation Trust is closing on the 19th of April. Let's go down and see if they are giving us sponsorship. Oh. Let's go and see. So we scroll down the bottom, we go and see that they've written what? Certificate of sponsorship. Okay, certificate of sponsorship is there. So it means that they can sponsor you. After that, you're going to look at the person's specification. What are they looking for in this person? They said that they want somebody who has evidence of continued professional development. So it should be somebody who is learning. You have learned something about infection prevention and control, FFP2, we've got the respirator and all that. They will teach you. So that is not really difficult. And then you should have understanding of the quantitative and qualitative method. Okay, if you have a bachelor's degree, a diploma, you've done research, you should know all this. Ability to meet mobility demands. It means that they can need you to maybe travel somewhere or whatever. I don't understand what that mobility means. But I think maybe it means that commuting around or something. I don't know. And basic IT skills. They want somebody who has ability to prioritize, right? And then also skills and competencies. They want somebody who's got good communication skills, able to work collaboratively with other people, and should also have good time management. And then desirable also, they want somebody who's got good record keeping and ability to prioritize. So as I said, if you want to know how to write a good supporting statement, guys, this is a deal breaker when you're applying for NHS job. If you want to write a good supporting statement, go on ChatGPT. Don't cut me anywhere. Go on ChatGPT. Copy your skills in your CV, your skills, your qualifications, your experience. Go on to the person specification of the job and the job description. Copy everything. Put it on ChatGPT and write. ChatGPT generates for me a supporting statement. Because ChatGPT is artificial intelligence, it will give you something that is a bit vague and general, but it will give you a structure. You look on that structure and then you will tailor it. If you go and copy verbatim from ChatGPT and go and put it to NHS websites, you are on your own. Don't go and mention my name that I told you, because now some of the recruiters are also using artificial intelligence to read what you have written. Or my sister, am I lying?
Yeah. So they've got this software that they also use in selecting or shortlisting people because one particular job, you have thousands of people applying. So it's so difficult for them to go through every single application. So the recruiters are also coming up with ways of making recruitment or shortlisting easier for them. So if you copy word for word anything from the internet, if they paste it in any plagiarism software, it will show. And it will even show how much percentage of stuff you have copied from the internet. Yeah. So it's just to guide you, in drafting because I understand that back home people have no idea about what something statement is. And if you were trained back home in Ghana, just like Rebecca and I, once you finish with your nursing training, they just post you. So that we don't really go through that process of writing an application letter or writing
Yeah.
anything like supporting statement. So even me, before I came to the UK, none of us knew anything about
No, no,
supporting
no, no.
statements because previously agencies were still recruiting directly to NHS. So you just write your CVT, write your IELTS, and then you submit your documents to the agency. So we didn't actually have to go through all of that. I got to know of supporting statement when I was moving from one hospital to the next hospital. So when you go on to the different jobs, then you actually start asking yourself, what is the supporting statement? So to get some form of guidance, then you can use Rebecca's strategy as in using that chat GPT as software to help you. It will structure it for you, but you have to amend it or edit it to suit the particular job you're applying for. And do not use just one supporting statement to apply for so many jobs.
No.
That is one mistake people make. So Rebecca has gone through a list of jobs. They are different. So the roles and responsibility for each of them are totally different. So if you ask ChatGPT to generate a supporting statement for
Somebody
you,
said, unfortunately, most of the health professional personnel have not even had ChatGPT.
that's another issue. No, but let's not really focus on that ChatGPT. So otherwise, it's going to create a whole lot of problems.
Yeah,
It's going to even make the NHS shop this even so much competitive. But
exactly.
there's just to, or let me say, just go on Google and type sample of supporting statement for maybe healthcare assistant job. Sample of supporting statement. Even if you were just typing it on Google to get a sample, you actually edit it or modify it to see the job you're applying for. So do not copy and paste something from the internet straight into your supporting statement for NHS. It will not work that way. Even as they read, it will not even sound
It will make sense.
completely different from your CV.
Yeah.
Because if you have put out the application, the NHS application, you don't submit a CV directly. But you realize that every information you put in the application form is from your CV. So they ask about wherever you work, you get your CV, you copy and paste it there. They ask about where you are working currently from your CV, you paste it there. So obviously, you realize that in the long run, it will be your own CV that you are copying into the
Exactly.
application. So when it gets to the point where you are writing your supporting statement, it has to tally. It cannot be completely different from what is actually in your CV. They have to match with the skills, experience that you stated in your CV. It has to match with the job specification that we are talking about. Let me say over time, broaden your knowledge and experience. But if you get stuck to being at one place, it will be difficult for you to put in some transferable skills into the support because Rebecca has mentioned a lot of jobs. Not all of them are healthcare assistant jobs.
No.
There are various jobs that need different type of experience. So you cannot use supporting statement you use and apply for healthcare assistant job to apply for like this activity coordinator
Or
or
administrator job. Yeah.
exactly. You
Yeah.
cannot use responsibilities as a healthcare assistant because what you be doing in your role as a healthcare assistant will be totally different from what you be doing in your role as admin. But then we as human beings, we are so gifted to the point that we have a bit of experience in every way without even us knowing. So try and take your mind off healthcare assistant if you're applying for an admin job, and try and take your mind off admin job if you're applying, and vice versa, so that you will not end up using that same supporting statement to apply for so many jobs just because you think it's NHS. I don't think they will not even shortlist. If the managers
Yeah.
read the supporting statement, they will not shortlist you because it has nothing to do with the role they have advertised. So imagine if I'm a manager, I've advertised for maybe healthcare assistant job, almost everything in your supporting statement it's somewhere not related to. I would just be wondering, does this person know about the job I've advertised in the first place? So it will not be matching. So just make sure you don't copy anything from the internet word for word. Just tailor it and edit it to the job that you are. I hope I've made some sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I have done a video I'm going to post tomorrow about how to structure a CV, right? Now, guys, this is the trick. Even if you're applying for a nursing role, right? Let's say you're a nurse, you're applying for a nursing role, three nursing jobs. Job A, job B, job C, they are both all nursing. But you realize that each job, if you read the job description and person specification, it may differ from job to job. So the moment you start using one CV to apply throughout, I am a testimony of it. You will apply tire, nobody will pick you. So try to make it tailored for that particular job because there are some key words that the job description and person specification will write, extract from there, and just how do they call this thing? Twist it around that English. You don't use the same sentence. Just modify it in a way to fit that particular job. So don't use one CV to apply for multiple jobs. Pay attention to the keywords in that job and tailor it. Be tailored towards that job. And also, as Diana said, experience. This country, listen, doesn't matter your qualification. I'm telling you, they need that experience. Even if it's volunteer. Listen, all those that are saying that we don't find jobs, our employer is not giving us jobs. Fine, I know it's hard. But if you can volunteer free. If I tell you, that's the one of the reasons why I moved quickly when I came to UK. In my free time, I can just go to one word. I'm just holding my jotter. I said, please, I'm here. Oh, I'm coming to help you. So this help, I'm coming to help you. You are not paying me for it. Just supervise me to serve medication. They are even happy because it's free service you are doing. So just supervise me to serve medication. They'll be using you. In their mind, they are using you. But you too, you know what you want. You are there to get your experience. Even if it's 1 week experience, put it on your CV. Okay? Oh, Diana, they said you are echoing. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Okay.
I want to see if I can mute it. Or can you mute it from your end? Okay, yeah. Thank you. So do some more voluntary work. Dana is a volunteer. She volunteers even with all this experience. But she just wants to do it. She needs. It can be in a shop. It can be in a home. My home where I just left. We had volunteers. People who are very support the carers to do feeding, continence care. Sometimes just come to do activities. They just wheel them around the home. Do you get? So such a person like this, he's not a carer, but he's volunteering. She can put it on her CV that I go to so and so home to help them as a volunteer. When it's on that CV, do you think that even if she wants to apply for a job in that company, do you think they'll refuse her? They won't. So these are one of the reasons or one of the things you can do also to support yourself as a volunteer. Yeah, unmute yourself. Or I need to unmute me. Uh-huh.
Someone put something very, very important in the comment section. The
Okay.
name is Ibukun or whatever. I don't know if I've pronounced it well. But it says someone volunteered in a charity store.
Wow,
And
I've seen
she
it.
used the reference to secure a job in a care home.
Oh,
So the
lovely.
work she went to a charity shop, at least she's used it as a form of UK experience. And she's managed to get reference to work in a care home. So you see how important this volunteer can be.
Yeah.
So with volunteer, it's a good way to start. You don't get paid, but then even if it's just 2 hours a week, it's still something that you can count on. They are more than happy to provide you reference. So
Exactly.
it's a good way to start. Yeah.
I remember my job I just left. My manager will come and give me some managerial roles and jobs that I'm like, this is not my job description. But I was happy to do them because things like auditing, supervision, and stuff like that, PDRs. I was a band five at that time. It's not what I was supposed to do, but I willingly did them, and I put it on my CV because it's things that managers are doing, and I'm doing it, and see where it took me. So sometimes you don't know that thing that you are learning is for your own good. Just willingly do it. You may not be paid for it, but it will do something for you. Yeah. See, somebody is testifying that she's volunteering. You see, be a volunteer. Just give yourself like a sacrificial lamb. They said that I'm here. Use me. You know what volunteering work can do. In fact, even in your children's school, sometimes you say the children's school, they'll say we need parents to volunteer. We need parents to come and volunteer. Just go and volunteer. Sometimes you say the children's school, they'll say we need parents to volunteer. We need parents to come and volunteer. Just go and volunteer. I want to be a parent helper, whatever they call them, a parent helper, whatever. I want to support the children to to, when they are going for excursions, I want to support the children, I want to do this. You never know what things like that can do for even your kids. Yeah, so you can volunteer. Can you volunteer as an activity coordinator? Yes, you can. Why not? My other home I left, all those that come there, we don't really give them a specific job title or anything. We just call them volunteers. They come and do anything, everything. In fact, anything from receptionist to, the only thing they don't do is medication, because obviously that one needs to be a nurse. And then things that are technical, like the physio bit of it, and anything that needs extra training, that one they can't do it, or peg feed and do stuff like that. But anything that is not technical, changing pad, feeding somebody, oral feeding, taking somebody in a wheelchair to push them around, you know, joining activities and helping them to sing and all doing their things. It doesn't need any training. So you can do it. It gives you a lot of advantage, right, guys? So let's shift from the volunteering side. So that is it. Um, the next job we are going to be talking about is one, two, three, four. The fourth one is community nurse. Somebody asked about nurse. Somebody was asking about band five nurse. This one is community nurse. It's closing on the 17th of April. It's in the same trust, Cumbria, Northumberland, Tyne and Ware, NHS. Bottom, as we said, you go to the additional information. You can see that it's written there. Certificate of sponsorship. Okay, you can see that it's written there, certificate of sponsorship. My YouTube fans are not really having a feel of the thing. I don't know if you are really a section. I'm sorry. I wish there could be a way that I can merge both so that everybody will have a feel of it. So yes, they are giving COS. You look at the person's specification. So they want somebody who's got professional nursing qualification, obviously, who is either an RMN, um, learning nurse, general nurse, or mental health nurse, who has continuous professional development, who has experience working with service users in relevant posts, has 12 months post experience, and completed preceptorship. So this one is usually is for somebody who is in the UK who wants to switch. Yeah, if you want to switch. Somebody is asking, remote area. Is it the Tyne and Way? Honestly, I don't even know where it is exactly. Um, but let's talk about this. Is there any place in UK that is a village at all? Because I hear people saying this a lot. It's a village. That's why they are giving sponsorship. Somebody said the other day, I shared this job advert in Scotland, and then somebody said it's a village. That's why nobody wants to go there. Is there anywhere that's a village? Eh? I don't. I don't know. I don't know if there's any place in UK that's a village. As far as we've all bought the plane to enter here, it doesn't really matter. We all have the British pounds, isn't it? So yeah, and then the desirable skills that they want is somebody who has clinical audit skills, and then somebody who can use the patient information system. And then essential skills is somebody who's got good interpersonal and communication skills, collaborative MDT working, ability to meet deadlines, IT skills, delegation, time management. And then the desirable skills, they want somebody who's got leadership skills, deep multidisciplinary and multidisciplinary skills, conflict resolution, and resource management. So this one is for registered nurses for community nursing. Okay, for community nursing. The next one is, let's see what it is. The next one is, oh, sorry, I think I've shared this already. Sorry. This one is also an administration officer. Administration officer in the same trust, the Tyne and Ware NHS Trust. The abbreviation for that trust is CNTW NHS Trust. So it's Cumbria, Northumberland, Tyne and Ware NHS Trust. This one is closing on the 9th of April. It's administration officer. Okay, administration officer. Administration officer. It's closing on the 9th of April. Um, and it's giving sponsorship, right? If you go down the bottom, it's written there, certificate of sponsorship. So it's giving sponsorship. The person specification, what they want is somebody who's got experience in using Microsoft packages and patient information system. Recent experience, 2 years experience in working in an office environment. Okay, so if you're HR, all those people that work in the offices, you should have evidence, experience, and understanding of work in an area with confidential and sensitive information. You know that the GDPR things in UK is very strict. So you should have knowledge on how to protect people's data. How to protect people's data. You should have the ability to uphold confidentiality at all times. Confidentiality means patient specific details, their names, date of birth, house address, like all those things that pertains to somebody. You should know how to keep them confidential. Desirable skills is note taking and then NHS working experience. It's desirable. That means if they have it, if they don't have it too, it's fine. And then the skills and knowledge is excellent interpersonal skills, both written and vex, processing skills. You know, all this administrative, know IT. Okay, you should know IT. Please, what of care jobs with COS, not domestic work? We are sharing. So when we get to where the care jobs are, you see them. It's a process. Let's just go through everything because not everybody on here, I believe, that is a carer. Yeah. So qualifications and then the desirable skills also they want somebody who can write shorthand if you've got it, shorthand, yeah. And then the essential skills is somebody who's got general level of education, including a pass mark in English and maths. And then or an NVQ three business administration or customer care. And then also somebody who's got word processing skills at level 3. And it is giving sponsorship. So this is my Telegram group. Please, the link is on my bio here. Just you can click on it to take you straight to Telegram. On my TikTok bio is there. So this is for the admin. Let's go to the next one. The next one is clinical support assistant. Clinical support assistant. It is closing on the 16th of April. This one is a band 3. It is a band 3 rule. Clinical support assistant. For band 3 jobs, if it's not stated COS explicitly, does that mean they do not give sponsorship? I said it from the beginning of the video, but that sometimes they don't write that they give sponsorship, but they might give you. They might give you. So if you impress them well enough, they can give it to you if it is not stated. Sometimes they do give, but it's not stated there. Bottom of this one, you go to additional information, you can see that they've written what? Certificate of sponsorship. So this is band 3. Okay, this is band 3 stated there. And let's look at the so this one too is in the same trust. This one too is in the same trust. Does NHS band 5 role give sponsorship? It's not every role that gives sponsorship. Band 2, 3, 4, 5, up to band 9. You can be sponsored for whatever band, it doesn't matter. But it's not every trust and every role that will give you sponsorship. Some will give, some will not give. So you will either have to email. One trick I also forgot to mention is that when you go onto the job search, right? Let's say for this one, you should go to the bottom of the job advert. You see that sometimes they've written a name and an email of somebody there. Every job, actually, you can see it. They've written that for questions about the job, contact the pathway manager, Amanda. Okay, so you can go there, scroll down the bottom, you can get the details of the person that is recruiting or that's responsible for the recruitment and contact them a friendly, like gesture, say, hi, I'm so and so. I want to apply for this job or have applied for this job. I want to ask, when I can accept, I can expect feedback, something like that. Or if you want to ask about said, yes. So sometimes I'm answering a Candy 48 question. Sometimes before the interview, they'll ask you, do you need sponsorship? So that if you say yes and they don't give, they won't waste your time. Sometimes too, they won't ask you anything, but when you have impressed them in the interview and they have the sponsorship, they will sponsor you. Okay. So if they haven't asked you